Buy now, pay later. 4 innocent little words that sound like financial fairy dust sprinkled on your online cart. But here's the plot twist. Those words are becoming some of the most loaded in the entire consumer finance world. What used to be something that you saw when you're buying a refrigerator or maybe financing a new couch is now plastered on practically every checkout page on the internet. You want a burrito? Finance it. Want some new sneakers? You can split that into 4 payments. Want gas for your car? Yep, you can finance that too. It's one of those Black Mirror style innovations that feels futuristic, a little dystopian, and oddly convenient.
I'm on double damage.
But before we decide if it's a financial savior or the villain in your bank account's horror story, let's unpack what's really happening here. And hey, before we dive in too deep, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I make videos that break down money, credit, and finance in a way that's not boring. So if you like saving money or at least laughing about not having any, hit that subscribe button. On March 20th, 2025, a new partnership between Klarna and DoorDash was announced. Yes, you heard that right, DoorDash. Suddenly you could finance your lunch order in 4 easy payments because nothing screams financially stable like paying off a burger bi-weekly. The announcement immediately went viral, and honestly, it's no surprise. It wasn't just about the absurdity of splitting your McDonald's order into installments, it was about what it represented. People weren't just using buy now, pay later for big ticket items anymore, they were using it to make ends meet on everyday purchases, gas, groceries, takeout. And while it's easy to laugh and say, who would finance fast food? The truth is, there are people who need these services. The economy has gotten tight. Inflation hasn't done anyone any favors, and suddenly, buy now, pay later isn't just convenient, it's a lifeline for some. If you read the corporate press release about buy now, pay later, they'll tell you it's a democratization of consumer credit and a dynamic solution for evolving consumer needs. But for me, this translates to people don't have enough money and companies figured out a way to let them buy things anyway, and that's it. That's the innovation. And consumers ate it up. Why? It's simple. Traditional credit cards can feel overwhelming. They come with high interest rates, annual fees, and decades of warnings from parents about never carrying a balance. BNPL swoops in like a shiny alternative with no fees, no scary fine print, just 4 little payments. Right now, there are 4 giants running the BNPL game: Affirm, Afterpay, Klarna, and PayPal Credit. They don't make products, they don't sell burgers or couches or Coachella tickets. Think of them instead like the middleman or a glorified referee managing money between you and the store. And while they often try to make a payment plan look as smooth and harmless as possible, behind the scenes, they're trying to build their own business by monetizing the heck out of every step. The Consumer Federation of America summed it up best: making 4 payments to cover 3 tacos sounds complicated, because it is. Here's the big problem. BNPL is just too easy. I've used Klarna myself, and within 2 weeks, I had the app set up, my card linked, and a buffet of brands thrown in my face with tempting promotions. And suddenly, every purchase whispered, "Don't worry, pay later." And objectively speaking, BNPL does have benefits. For people with no access to credit, it's sometimes the only option to avoid predatory credit card debt. And being able to split up big payments while typically having 0 interest is undoubtedly a major perk. But here's the catch. If you miss even one of those payments, the fees pile on. Suddenly that no interest, no fee burger costs you an extra $7 here or $10 there. It's a financial obstacle course where one stumble could mean you're underwater. And BNPL companies proudly admit that their services encourage people to spend more. Klarna and Afterpay stated that their users increased order size by 18 to 41%. Translation, you didn't need that extra shirt in your cart, but when it's just $12 today, you convince yourself it's basically free. Quick pause. If you're finding this information helpful, hit the like button and subscribe now. It tells the algorithm to share this with more people who probably have tabs open right now, prompting them to add to cart. Now, let's zoom out. It's one thing to finance food, but now BNPL is becoming a standard option for bigger experiences. Coachella tickets. 60% of people who went last year use buy now, pay later. Picture this, you're in the desert. You've dropped $50 down on your tickets plus that additional $41 service fee, and you're financing not just your entry, but your food and your drinks inside the festival. It's like an open bar tab that lasts all weekend, except instead of waking up with the hangover, you wake up with the payment plan. And here's the genius part. It works for a reason. Suddenly, cultural experiences have become accessible to people who in the past were priced out. It's arguably the most responsible version of BNPL because at least it's a fixed event. But it still highlights the deeper problem. So many of us have become so financially stretched that the only way it feels like we can keep up is by spreading costs into bite-sized chunks. The scary part isn't the food, it's the numbers. Household debt in the US hit 18.39 trillion this year. Consumer sentiment is sinking, and the number of people expecting to miss payments in the next 3 months is at the highest since 2020. BNPL isn't causing this problem, it's a symptom. People are desperate, and companies are swooping in to profit from that desperation. One important thing to note is that as of July 2025, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau stated that BNPL is subject to some of the same regulations as credit cards, with customers now having the option to dispute charges and request refunds. However, this does not protect the consumer from return issues, fees, potential data sharing, and debt accumulation. Bottom line, just like most things in the world of finance, it's complicated and comes with risk. But remember, for most people using BNPL, it isn't about poor financial literacy. It's about survival. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, splitting up a $200 grocery bill into 4 payments feels like a relief. So what do we do with all of this? Buy now, pay later isn't going away. In fact, it's probably going to keep expanding into more areas of life. The question is whether it remains a tool that helps people bridge the gap or whether it becomes the next credit card crisis in disguise. Right now, it feels like a bit of a tinderbox. If you're using BNPL, here's my advice. Think of it like fire. It can cook your dinner or it can burn down the house. Use it responsibly for things you can afford and never let it become a crutch for living beyond your means. And if you made it this far, here's your final call to action. Subscribe to the channel. We'll keep unpacking these financial traps so you don't get caught in them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.